In the battles for Sudzha in the Kursk region, mercenary and commander of the Kursk Vityazi Assault Battalion, Ivan Krutikov, was killed. His death was confirmed by Dmitry Guliev, a deputy of the Kursk Regional Duma. 33-year-old Ivan Krutikov, known by the call sign 07, was eliminated in a firefight on the morning of Wednesday, March 12th, along with 2 other Russian soldiers. Yesterday, during the liberation of Sudzha in a firefight, face-to-face with the enemy, my brother and friend, the commander of the Kursk Vityazi Assault Battalion, Ivan Krutikov, was killed, he wrote on his social media. Guliev also published the last photo of Ivan resting before the assault, where he sleeps in his uniform on several backpacks. Krutikov was the commander of the Kursk Vityazi Assault Battalion, which was formed in September 2024 and was part of the Pyatnashka International Brigade. The latter is known for being primarily composed of Abkhazians and for fighting since 2014 in the war in eastern Ukraine. Before the operation in the Kursk region, he ran a children's boxing club, Vityaz, in Kursk. But with the start of hostilities, he joined the paramilitary formation along with other coaches. According to the evocation database of the Russian regime's henchmen, Krutikov also fought as a fighter for an unnamed private military company, claiming to have participated in more than one conflict. According to some reports, he is mentioned as a member of the PMC Wagner. As previously reported, another Russian terrorist of the neo-Nazi sabotage assault reconnaissance group, Rusik, Jan Petrovsky, was sentenced to life in prison in Finland today. The Prosecutor General of Finland accused Petrovsky of 5 war crimes committed in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions in 2014 to 2015. Meanwhile, Ukrainian drones continue to strike Russian military targets deep in enemy territory. Mulino, Nizhny Novgorod region, the moment of a UAV attack on a military training ground. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin's response to a proposed 30-day ceasefire, calling it very predictable and very manipulative. Speaking in his evening address on Thursday, March 13th, Zelenskyy accused Putin of trying to delay real peace efforts while avoiding direct rejection. We have all heard from Russia Putin's highly predictable and manipulative words in response to the idea of a ceasefire on the front lines. At this moment, he is, in fact, preparing to reject it, Zelenskyy said. Of course, Putin is afraid to tell President Trump directly that he wants to continue this war and keep killing Ukrainians. He further said Russia was setting conditions that would make a ceasefire impossible. In Moscow, they are surrounding the ceasefire idea with such preconditions that it either fails or gets dragged out for as long as possible, he said. Putin does this often. He doesn't say no outright, but drags things out and makes reasonable solutions impossible. Zelenskyy said that Ukraine was ready to accept the ceasefire and that the U.S. had offered to monitor compliance. We are not setting conditions that complicate the process. Russia is, he said. As we have always said, the only one stalling, the only one being unconstructive, is Russia. They need this war. He called on the international community to pressure Putin, including through sanctions. We will continue working with our American and European partners, and with everyone in the world who wants peace, to force Russia to end this war, he added. The ceasefire proposal, originally suggested by the U.S. during talks in Saudi Arabia, was supported by Ukraine. Putin, however, said on March 13th that while he agreed to the idea in principle, there were several conditions that need to be studied first, such as the enforcement of the ceasefire alongside a front line that stretches 2,000 kilometers. Putin also reiterated a Kremlin talking point that a ceasefire would simply allow Ukraine to regroup. Is the ceasefire going to be used to continue forced mobilization, to continue rearming, to continue supplies of weaponry, to allow military units to regroup, Putin asked, in a rhetorical question. Putin was set to meet U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff behind closed doors Thursday evening. Lukashenko. We also discussed the new situation with regard to the settlement of the conflict in Ukraine. Vladimir Vladimirovich will probably still have to work intensively on this issue today and tomorrow, and we will also discuss the prospects.
The new situation regarding the resolution of the conflict in Ukraine was not overlooked. Vladimir Vladimirovich today probably, and tomorrow we will have to work closely on this issue. We will also discuss the prospects, but I have already, speaking with journalists, said, and now in front of Vladimir Vladimirovich, I want to say that we shouldn't particularly count on anything great. In this situation, we need to believe in facts. In fact, we discuss, accept or do not accept. That's the main thing. Various statements and promises are still just statements and promises.
The U.S. finally started to pressure Russia instead of using empty words in public. The U.S. has banned foreign companies from making payments for Russian energy through sanctioned banks, at Edward Lawrence. This move aims to tighten economic pressure on Moscow, affecting buyers of Russian oil, gas, and other energy resources. The EU has no plans to lift sanctions on Russia. On the contrary, a new package is in the works, says EU Foreign Affairs spokesperson Anita Hipper. The bloc is also working to extend existing sanctions, but Hungary continues to block the decision at this moment. Lockheed Martin has developed a mock-up of the Russian Pantsir-S air defense missile system. According to Army recognition, the mock-up is based on the Peterbilt 320 cargo platform. The platform is typically used for garbage trucks. American observers have dubbed the new creation Peter Pantsir. The mock-up's purpose is to evaluate the effectiveness of the Sniper Advanced Targeting Pod System, a set of sensors installed on fighter jets like the F-16 and F-18. The system is designed to identify and classify targets. The Russian products may serve as targets for testing the accuracy and reliability of aviation guidance systems. To this end, the United States has been actively acquiring and analyzing foreign combat systems, including air defense, to improve countermeasures, tactics, and equipment development. The Pantsir-S mock-up could also be used to equip OPFOR units, which simulate potential enemy troops in training exercises for American forces. These units create realistic combat scenarios, emulating enemy tactics, military doctrines, and habits. In 2023, the United States was observed transporting high-quality mock-ups of Russian air defense systems and radars. At that time, 2 models of the Tor-M1 air defense system, 1 model of the S-300PS launcher, and the 5 N-63S command post were delivered by rail. These models are used for training purposes, including training U.S. military personnel in detecting enemy air defense systems. They can also serve as decoys or false targets for enemy forces.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.